Welcome back. This is Plumbing Around, sponsored by Temecula Wind Nelson with me, Scott Thornton. And today, very excited, I have Stacey Lauren with me, who, you're kind of high energy. You're an entrepreneur through and through. And not only high energy, high motor, and you have such a big heart. I think that's one of the things I noticed about you first is just how much you care and what you do now with that. But you started out as an entrepreneur with what, a employee agency, right? And where was that at?
Yeah, so we actually had offices all through Southern California. So even Temecula, San Diego, Orange County, LA,
All right.
Oceanside.
How long did you do that?
It was 20 years.
20 years. Did you just fall into that, or was
Yeah.
I mean, how do you start that?
It was wild. So I had basically, I had just gotten married, and my husband at the time, he was working for a kind of like labor hall company. And then I was doing sales. And so we ended up traveling around a little bit with that company. And then I was actually kind of like building sales teams, and then also running a sales, almost like my own office within the company. And then that's when something happened with his company. And then he was like, do you want to just do this together? And so we ended up opening up the company together, but we made it different. It was more of a staffing company versus like labor hall, if that makes sense.
And how big did it get?
Yeah, it was like we had 60 internal employees, 600 external employees, multiple offices. It was a lot. It was fires. It was
I thought 15 employees.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we like grew up with the business, because when we started, I mean, I was probably like 28. I think he was 29. And like we just like grew, is that right? 28. How old am I? 48. Yeah. And we grew up with the business, and how like I always didn't, because I don't have an MBA. I built everything from like being a salesperson and then like learning how to create revenue. And then everything else kind of came from managing by the fire and then learning as I went. And so he was the CFO of the company. I was the CFO. So I had all front end operations, employee management, staffing, sales, all of that. And then he did the, finances and workers' comp. And so we just like went feet into the fire and like got really dirty in the process.
Well, that's how you learn the best, right? I mean, by doing.
Yes.
But you wound up selling it.
Yeah.
And did you take some time off after you sold it, or?
Yeah. So it's funny because I had a business coach, and I know you love business coaches, so you'll appreciate this.
Yes.
I had a business coach at the time, thank goodness, that told me that there's a thing that happens after you sell a business is like you go through this like kind of like downward spiral because your like identity now is like lost. So it's kind of funny that I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't think it would happen to me,
But it did.
And it did. Yeah, it did. And so, so she told me, do not start a business for a year because what happens is people are in that like kind of depressed isolated state. They start a new business and they end up regretting it. Either they've invested too much money into something that they're not ready to like start again, or it's just not the right thing.
Yeah.
So it was really great advice. It did kind of like lead me into this world of like exploring businesses, where I was like looking at different opportunities, which was kind of a fun thing to do without like putting my feet into anything, which was kind of what caused me to start my podcast, because that's another, as you know, like another amazing way to explore who you are, what you do, and then connect with people and
and see what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now, and how long? So now you have Do the Thing.
Yes.
How long has that been around?
Yeah, so it started with the podcast. So it was never meant to be a business. It was just my therapy. And it was like literally my therapy. I was like, thinking about writing a book. And then, like when I owned the staffing company, all I heard constantly was like, everything people didn't want to do, because when you're at that identity point of wanting to find a new job, it could be really lonely, depressing, like all the things, right? And so it was really hard for people to, like ask for higher pay or to take a job that they didn't know if they were qualified for, or worse, leave a job that they were scared to leave. And then I also was working with companies that, were filling high critical roles. And so I had this kind of like worldview that a lot of people don't get. And so with Do the Thing, I was like, okay, I want to find out what is the formula that helps someone do the thing at the highest level. And so that was what the podcast was really intended for me to do, was really dissect the formula. Like, what are the common patterns that successful people have with taking action?
And so now it's a business. What? Explain Do the Thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a really great question.
Yeah, because I can't do it. Yeah.
It's a really great question. Yeah. So it started for fun, which is actually really great because I was never.
It's still fun though, right?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Mostly?
moments of growth where I'm like, oh, and then I make it fun
What was
again.
I thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot of those moments. 100%. Because
Welcome to my
anytime
life.
you're growing, you're like, why am I doing this again? But now I'm like lasering in on like all the things. But yeah, so it wasn't meant to be a business. It was just meant to be fun. So I basically dissected this formula, right?
Mhm.
Still not a business, more of like a research experiment. And then I'm like, great. I had just met my boyfriend, and a lot of people that I saw were on dating apps at the time. And I was like, I'm going to create a challenge with dares. So they will meet someone in person, because I met my boyfriend in person. And then that was when I got to test this like formula
Mhm.
in the challenge. And so it turned out to be a formula that helps a person take action, actually helps groups take action. So then I became obsessed, because after I did the dating challenge, then I was helping people find their voice, and I ran a Find Your
Oh.
Voice challenge.
All right.
After they found their voice, they were ready to write a book. And then they were ready to start a podcast. And then they were ready to then monetize their voice, and so it's like now I have this comfort circle framework where I should have brought it actually. You saw it, I think, at the event.
Yeah. Yes.
But comfort circle framework, because as I'm helping people take action, I'm like seeing all these things open. And it wasn't until I did the podcast challenge, where I helped hundreds of people start podcasts in like a 5-week period. It was so fun. And then that's when I was like, I've got to turn this into a business. And that's when I made my first offer, of
Yeah.
like saying, hey, whoever didn't, it was kind of funny. I made the wrong offer, but it still worked. But I was like, whoever like really wants to have my like personal, like even more help, starting your podcast,
Yeah.
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
So,
Dedicated.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now to answer your question, Do the Thing now is basically I have these frameworks that help people kind of like get out of their comfort zone
Mhm.
together. And so what it does is it actually engages communities into action. And so people hire me to run the frameworks in their communities.
Mhm.
And then I also have my own community that I run it in.
Yes.
And then
very large community.
Yeah. And then the new thing you saw me launch was the $1 Billion Impact Marketplace, where it technically is the same thing, because I have noticed that when you help a community raise money together, again, another goal, raising money, whether it's a podcast, whether it's dating, whether it's a book, raising money. Now we're like having something bigger than ourselves. We're like really getting more deeper purpose and fulfillment. And so
Yeah.
that's what the marketplace is. It's like creating a vehicle for communities to raise money together, and then also helping them make money at the same time.
Right. And that's called $1 Billion Impact.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And who was your original charity, or because the way you do it, right, is you auction off not items but services.
Yep.
And part goes to the person that's going to do the service, and part goes to a charity or a deserving company that, right, nonprofit or
Yep.
something. So who was the first one?
Yeah, so that's what's so fun about it. It's like a win-win. So yeah, it was funny because I when I first learned this like kind of charity thing, it was from Sean Kelly, who's a charity auctioneer, and he raises like $500 million for charities over the last 10 years.
You worked with them too, right?
What's that?
You worked with them
I
too,
did,
right?
yeah. And so I helped him build his community. And when he came to San Diego, he asked me if I wanted to be a spotter, where you're like basically volunteering to help him like see the people with their paddles up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so at the time, there was no reason for me to say yes to like training under him when he was like, hey, do you want to be my mentor? I see that you love it. But then I was like, oh, maybe I could use the frameworks of helping people take action and mix it in with, charity fundraising.
Yeah.
And that was when I then went to Necker Island, and I learned under Richard Branson and his Disrupting for Good gathering. And then I met Susie Gigante, who's the director of community engagement for Virgin Unite. And she spoke at my event in Ohio, which is where she was the one that helped me like see this, because she was like, a lot of people won't give or they won't contribute to causes because they think they have to already be successful before they do it, or they're so successful that they don't have time. But she's like, everybody can give no matter where they are. And then there was something that flipped in my head then. And that was the event that I raised money for a charity that my daughter was supporting. And I just basically brought everyone that was at my event on the stage and said, who wants to make money right now? Everyone came up, of course. And then I'm auctioning on like, what do you have to offer? And like someone had a bed and breakfast, another person had a entrepreneur, like a service that they're selling online. And so anyway, then 40%, well, at the time it was 50-50. Now I'm doing 40-40. So there's something there, but like 40% goes to the person and 40% goes. And so now it's been like virtual and in person. We've raised, $30,000 here, $20,000 there. And then the event you were at, which you helped contribute to, thank you, was we raised over $114,000.
Dang, nice.
It was great.
And that's for the enough, right?
Yes.
And you got the...
Oh, yeah, I have my bracelet. Yep.
So that's it. The event was pretty amazing, right? With all the people there that did give. And then it was a community, and you met new people and you made new connections, and I enjoyed it greatly. It was very, very cool. And there was like, you wanted to be in that room. Yeah. So that was exciting. So thank you for letting me come to that. That was very, very cool.
So. I loved having you there. And so it's kind of funny because at the same time that I'm launching the $1 Billion Impact Marketplace, I met Blake Mikowski, who is the founder of Tom's, and we're talking about running a Do the Thing challenge around the Enough brand. And the timing of the event was perfect. And I was like, oh, I could actually help you launch your Enough campaign using this like framework of, getting people into action and deep connection, while also raising money at the same time. So it was like kind of a perfect way to launch it, was because Tom's comes from like the 1-for-1 model. And so it just felt like a perfect.
Yeah, because they would donate a pair of shoes for every pair sold, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, and how did you feel at that first event?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Yeah, it was so amazing. And it's like
to see something like that come to fruition. I mean,
yeah, it's been like this like process of just me not knowing what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of like continuing to just gather people and then like be a little messy and like telling them, hey, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but we're figuring this out. And now it's like coming. I'm like, oh wow, I think I know what I'm doing now. We already planned the next event, which I have to tell you about.
Okay.
In February of next year, which is the longest that I've ever I've never had this much lead time for running an event.
You're gonna have too much time now. You're gonna like change it 17 times, and
yeah. But what we had 150 at the last one. Now we want to have 500 because now we have more time to like tell people about it and show them what we're gonna do. So who knows how much we're gonna raise at this one? It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I want to be there. It's funny because Portia Steele, who helped me, was my book coach.
Yes.
She's not a messy person. And that's where her and I were talking when I think it was on the podcast here. I was like, no, there's beauty in that messy middle. I mean, you learn so many things and just find out things about yourself and other people and just doing that. I don't know. I find a lot of joy in the middle, in kind of the chaos and the messy, like you said. So
like, it's so much fun because like, who wants to be the same as everybody else, right?
And who wants to be perfect?
Yeah. So I have this one challenge. It's called Find Your Voice. Depending on what community it goes in, it changes the name, because I've done this challenge in CEO groups, and I've also done it in grief groups, depending on what people are wanting. But it is the mess. It like literally teaches people how to do the thing. Because how do you do the thing at the highest level? You have to find your voice, not be scared of being embarrassed, not be scared of what you look like or thing. Like you want it to come from like the deepest part in you and get out of your head. And so that's one of my like biggest kind of claims to fame, is that challenge. Has actually even been translated now in Spanish, which is so fun.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your head, you're dead. So
I what?
I said, if you're in your head, you're dead.
Yeah. No, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
So how can people get involved with either Do the Thing or the
Yeah.
$1 Billion Impact.
Thank you. Yeah, I have events that are free, so you're welcome to come to those. I'm going to be writing a book. It's called at least for today, it's called $1 Billion Impact Networking. And so, because it's a whole new way of networking when you network with people around goals versus just like surface level conversations.
Right.
And so I have these like fun $1 Billion Impact networking events and hot seat sessions and different things. And so the $1BillionImpact.com is the best way to get in touch with me.
And so what about Do the Thing? Is that have its own
Yeah, it's a great question.
or?
Everything I've been doing has been from a Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group. It's like I had no website until now.
All right.
And so that's dothethingcollaboration.com. But technically, the $1 Billion Impact is still Do the Thing, because how do you create a $1 Billion Impact? You have to get communities together to do the thing together. So that's the difference. Do the Thing is like I'm helping a community achieve goals together. Right. The $1 Billion Impact is I'm bringing diverse communities together, kind of like what happened at the event. And
there was people from all over the world.
Yeah, it was wild.
Great. Australia. I don't know where else. I know Boston people were there.
England.
Oh, yeah. All over.
Wild.
That was crazy.
Peru. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah. So
good for you. See,
it was exciting. And the Australia was funny because she flew out like 3 days before. I don't even know how she did it. She like time traveled somehow because there's like a day behind.
I know.
Yeah, it was wild.
I've been there.
So yeah.
Last time I went there,
right.
it was. We missed an entire day. Yeah. It was just gone. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
So you wear so many hats. Right? I mean, you're a mother, entrepreneur, you're a speaker.
Yes.
Did a TED Talk. You spoke at the United Nations. What the hell? What did you talk about there, and how did that happen?
Yeah, so it's funny. So in the TEDx talk, I talked about the power of community to help you achieve your goals. So I was trying to help people understand the difference between your friends and family and your regular support network. And then people that you're with that have the same goal as you. And that was what I noticed in my challenges. It's like, okay, if you wanted to start dating, you can't be in your entrepreneur group talking about dating. You have to join a dating group, right?
Gotcha.
If you want to start a podcast, you have to start a podcast group, right? Or a podcasters group.
Right.
And so that was the TEDx talk. What I noticed though, that people didn't understand, still, even though now that the whole thing that's been like globally seen and all that, is it's not just being with people that have the same goal. It's actually getting into action together and like doing the thing together. And so that's what I talked about in the United Nations talk was structured shared action and the power of communities getting into action together, because this is my whole thing. I've had this 5-year experiment of like understanding people, what gets in their way, what moves them forward, how do they find the deepest parts of what makes them feel the most alive. And when you get out of your comfort zone individually is great, but when you can get out of your comfort zone together, like you are like building really deep bonds, and getting this like, I mean, we know this from like football or like running a race, right? Why can't we do this in business too? And so, and in our personal life, we can almost create our own group.
It's like almost a support system, right? I mean, like the wind beneath my wings, right?
Yeah. And so that's what I've noticed too. It's like there's support groups out there, but if they only are there for support, there's only, I call it horse mode. There's only so much. It's great, but there's only so much that they can get to. And so that's why I'm like, give the group, I'm using my hands because I'm picturing my comfort circles right now, but like,
sorry, it's video too. Yeah.
But when they can have a goal, whether it's finding their voice as a group or, like, maybe they want to write a book together, or maybe they want to do a 10K, whatever it is, juicing, I don't care, whatever it is. Then you have goals and you're like working through those goals together. Now you're growing together as a community. And what's so cool is like some people can be further ahead, some people can be behind, because now you're like contributing back and forth, which gives us more of a sense of value, which I think we all want, is to feel value when we're inside these spaces too.
Yeah. Well, and to give to others. Yeah. Absolutely. Your daughter is following in your footsteps, right?
She's she's like
trailblazing her. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen with her. It's wild.
I mean,
wow.
Like,
it was so funny too, because I don't know if I messed that up, but it was so funny because she just wrote a book. It's called Intention into Action.
And she's what, 19?
She's 18.
18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Intention into action at 18.
It was so wild. So she spoke at my event, at the $1 Billion Impact event. The book wasn't even in her head then.
Really?
No. So what happened was
that was just like 3 months ago?
It's wild. Yeah. So she spoke at the event. What happened is all these people came up after her and they were like, oh my gosh, your message. Like, I really needed to hear that, because she talks about rejection, putting herself out there and all the things. And then she ended up getting an award for a company she works for. So then she spoke again on a stage. And then I had an event in New York. She spoke at that event. And so it was like, oh no, it was before the New York event. All of a sudden she was just like, maybe I should write a book, you know? And so anyway, and then the book came out in like 2 weeks, which is just
insane.
So cool. I know.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, at the $1 Billion Impact event, one of the items for sale was this like celebrity extra experience.
Yeah, I remember that.
We ended up going, and then we found out about these like celebrity gifting suites at the Oscars. So now she has we had this booth there where we shared it, and she has all these celebrities like looking at her book. She's signing it for them. Anyway, it's just like, I don't even know what's going to happen with her. It's wild.
That's amazing.
So fun.
Well, and
yeah,
right. Kudos to you for, I mean, you trailblazed that for her too.
Thank you.
I mean,
it's either, well, as a parent, you know, it is. It's either what you didn't do or what you did do, right?
Usually for me, it was don't do what I've done.
It's like, that was not perfect. I know.
Ooh.
That's like the only thing. If people are like, oh, you were, I'm like, no, it wasn't all that. Like, she went through some stuff, you know? That helped her.
You've shown her, hey, you can just do.
Yeah.
And don't be scared, or be scared and do it anyway. And so, you know, congratulations to you and her.
Thank you. And this week we're running a community challenge around her book, which has been just so fun.
I missed it, but I sent it to my daughter, and we'll check it out afterwards.
Yeah,
too,
no, it's great. Yeah, she's going to run it again, because it's, once the challenges get run, they get evergreen, so it'll be available. But it was really fun getting to do that with her too.
So with everything going on, does Stacy have time for Stacy?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you...
That's a great question. Yeah. So this is part of the whole, what am I doing? Right. Because I want to go hiking, kayaking, but I have this like mission in my heart. So, and one of the things behind the $1 Billion Impact kind of whole, I'm going to be launching this thing. It's called an $1 Billion Impact Experiment. But one of the things behind it is we're raising $1 billion for charity, using entrepreneurs' products, services, and offerings. And so when you have a goal of raising $1 billion, it's hard to rest. And so, but I've been getting like really burnt out, you know, just with like going and going. And so, yes, I am actually like streamlining everything now. And I've actually canceled a lot of my events. I turned a lot of things off. So everything I'm doing now, I know exactly what I'm doing. I have a clear system and a clear path where it's going to be great.
All right. Yeah. I'm like, we'll see how it goes for you.
I know. but I think it's important for anyone listening, you know, because we have these things in our head that we want to do, and these goals, you know, and it is important for us to kind of like get out of the fire or get out of the fun or whatever it is you're going through, take that minute, reset. And, you know, I have this actually in the Find Your Voice challenge. I give dares. One of the dares is called, what kind of car are you? And I learned this from a coach that I worked with, and he had said that I was a race car. And so, whereas some people are Hondas, so if you're a Honda, like, you don't go as fast and you don't have to have as much maintenance, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're a race car, like, every time you cross the track, you have to get maintenance, right? You need your wheels and all that. And so that's kind of the big thing I think to notice, is like what kind of car you are. So then you know what kind of maintenance you need to keep yourself going.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. Yeah. I think what you just said too really struck home with me was the mission in my heart, which is beautiful. And I think a lot of people maybe have something like that, but they don't act on it where you have. And I think that's kind of what you're trying to show everybody, right? With do the thing, the $1 billion impact, you know, do it, take action.
Yeah. And I think like the find your voice part is really important too, because change is hard. And a lot of times we could get kind of like stuck in the doing, but it's so important to like kind of pause at each level of growth to really tap into like what you actually want, and that you're not doing things for like other people or because you think you should or whatever. It's like tapping back into like what really kind of like brings you the fire,
brings you alive.
Know? Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is doing things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else new coming down the pike? Or, I mean,
Yeah.
because, what is going to be new? Do you have anything? I know we got it in February now.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else that you want to let people know about?
Yeah, I
Or
think like the biggest thing I'm excited about this book because like I have a couple books in my life that I really liked. Like Nick Gray has a 2-hour cocktail party book, which is funny. It says cocktail, but he doesn't drink, so the book is called that. But anyway, it's a really easy way to host gatherings, and I love that book. I've actually run a challenge with him around it, and then The Art of Gathering is a really good book. So I want to almost like create my book that's like, like this is my framework, like learn it so we can have these community connection experiences together. And so that's what the $1 Billion Impact Networking is. And then from there, I'm like launching the $1 Billion Impact Experiment. And I'm going to be doing these like little immersions, like to like have people kind of like get little short spurts of what
is that going to be across the country? Or
it's going to be virtual, and then I'll have in-person events as they pop up. So yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. I was excited to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any parting thoughts or words of wisdom, or, like you've been an entrepreneur, you're still an entrepreneur, you've sold a business, you started a business. What are some of the things you can tell people that are thinking about it or scared to do it? Or
yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is really finding your people and like who you like could be around that helps you achieve your goals. And sometimes that's starting your own My People group, or event or whatever it is you want to do, or it's joining one existing. And I remember like when we first met and I got to see you speak at the ref event, and I was like, Scott is my people, and I like literally chased him around because I was like, I loved your talk. I just felt you from the stage. And so that's it, right? It's not being scared to like go up to people when you like see that they're your people, and like creating that connection, because like this is so exciting. We get to meet people that are on the same journey as you, and you want to like, get connected. So that's what I would really just suggest, is just really kind of like tap into who you have in your network, and are you in the right groups? Are you with the right people? And you could still keep your friends and your family and your support network, but just adding
don't
to
be
it.
scared to, or change it.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. I look forward to more stuff, and I definitely want to be there in February.
Yay.
And let's immerse.
Love it.
I like it. So thank you. That's it. Why don't you all go do the thing too? Have a good one.